Hello, I'm Pastor Bill from Open Door Baptist Church in Morehead City. And while we have been practicing Church Dispersed, I have been giving my church a daily word of encouragement from the Bible. And today is Good Friday. And so I will be bringing a word of encouragement that might sound a little bit different than previous sessions. Today, I'm going to be looking at part of Psalm chapter 22. Psalm 22, David writes, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but I find no rest. You are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our fathers trusted. They trusted, and you delivered them. To you they cried and were rescued. In you they trusted, but were not put to shame. But I am a worm and not a man, scorned by mankind and despised by the people. All who see me mock me. They make mouths at me. They wag their heads. He trusts in the Lord. Let him deliver him. Let him rescue him, for he delights in him. Yet you are he who took me from the womb. You made me trust you at my mother's breasts. On you was I cast from my birth, and from my mother's womb you have been my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, and there is none to help. Many bulls encompass me, strong bulls of Bashan surround me. They open wide their mouths at me like a ravening and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within my breast. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death. For dogs encompass me. A company of evildoers encircles me. They've pierced my hands and my feet. I can count all of my bones. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. But you, O Lord, do not be far off. O you, my help, come quickly to my aid. Well, if you are familiar with the crucifixion account in the Gospels, I feel quite certain that you know why I chose this passage for today's episode of A Word of Encouragement. But perhaps as you were hearing it read to you, you wondered what encouragement might be found in this text. And this is what I wanted to point out. I wanted to point out from this text, from Psalm 22, thousands of years before Jesus sacrificially went to the cross for you and for me, God's servant David wrote of that day. You see, this was the plan from the beginning. The crucifixion and the cross, it is no plan B. This is God's plan A. This is God's plan for saving the world from sin and from themselves, but most importantly, saving the world from his own wrath. It was to pour out his wrath on his son Jesus. It was for his son Jesus to absorb God's punishment and wrath for every sin that had been committed and every sin that ever will be committed. Jesus is sufficient. And even in the Psalms, this can be a word of encouragement to us today, that this was the plan from the beginning. Well, I hope that this is a word of encouragement to you today. I hope that you are walking in that trust today, that God is sovereign. He is a king, and his plan will come to fruition. And I hope, until I see you again, that God richly blesses you in your faith.